Welcome everybody to the moment of trusted identity, the moment of Privado ID. My name is Alex Rosales, Head of Marketing and Developer Experience, and I will be today introducing the different sessions to you. But before doing that, let me explain you why today is such a big day, a pivotal moment in the history of the project. And allow me to do that explaining a very beautiful metaphor that represents very well the story of Privado ID. Imagine, if you will, the growth of a bamboo tree. During the first years, you will see little visible growth. The bamboo tree is growing its roots underneath, silently. It's building a strong foundation underground. It's preparing itself for a remarkable transformation. And after 6 years, this transformation happens, once the internal and external conditions are met. Then, in just 6 months, the tree can grow up to 30 meters high, delivering a very strong and resilient wood. You can build houses, among others. Privado ID is like this bamboo tree. 6 years ago, the seed was planted. The identity protocol started. And since then, the team has been working very hard to build this strong foundation that will be presented to you today. The moment has come. The project is ready for spectacular growth. Please welcome to the stage the co-founders of Privado ID, David, Seth, co-founder and CEO, please. Antoni Martin, CEO and co-founder. Sandeep Nailwal, non-executive co-founder and advisor, and Jordi Baylina, non-executive co-founder and advisor.
Okay. Well, thanks, Alex. Thanks everyone for being here. We are super excited, as Alex was saying. It's an important moment for us because we have been, in some way, changing the project several times. During the six years we have been working. I'd like to let them some time to explain a little bit. For example, Antoni, you can start maybe talking about the story, no? We have together.
Exactly. Well, thanks everyone for being here. Yes, a little bit to recap, and before we move forward, but as also Alex was explaining, we were created 6 years ago. In Paris, Jordi came with the idea to create something related with zero knowledge proof, and obviously the first clear use case was identity and the privacy that was bringing. Okay, then the major part of the team that we hired at that time was related with identity. Some of them, in order to scale, the Hermes product was created. Some of them moved there. It was a time of growing, and this identity protocol and some tooling that we created on top of it was integrated as Polygon ID, which was really helpful because we were able to grow in this ecosystem, the wonderful and big Polygon ecosystem that is one of the majors in the industry and in the Web3 world. But it's true also that there was a moment where we have seen that in order to grow to become the Web3 identity, we needed to be more neutral, we can say, and then is when we have decided to rebrand as Privado ID. Okay, in the meantime, I want to really thank the whole team that has worked really hard these last years, especially the last 2 years with heads down, creating a very good product. In the meantime, also, we have developed a lot of tooling. We see that we have spoken with a lot of regulators in the European Parliament or in the UK Parliament. And the last year, we see that there is a huge demand of KYC for payments, proof of age for web pages, proof of humanity for bots, or certificates for risk-weighted assets. Then this make us think that this could be a very good moment to also launch Privado ID. And yes, thanks for coming, and I pass to Jordi.
Jordi is our tech advisor, beyond co-founder. He's a legend in the space of Web3 and in the CK technology especially. So, Jordi, what do you think is coming in terms of the technology for Privado ID?
I think it's a very interesting moment. When we started this project, why we started this project? We started this project because if you want to build a decentralized application, actually all applications, they need some sort of identity. I mean, when you put a login password at the beginning, there's some sort of identity there, okay? But if you want to build a decentralized application, you will need also some sort of identity. And the solution for that is what we call self-sovereign identity. But here, the key word, the important part is the privacy. Building an identity system without privacy in mind, without privacy by default and by design, it makes no sense. Especially, it makes no sense anywhere, but especially in the Web3, in the Web3 space. And here, the technology that triggers this, that allows to build this, is the zero-knowledge technology. In the Ident3, we start building a lot of things in there. We built the Circle, we built the Snark.js, we built, we were studying, going deep on that, and we did a lot of work on that. Actually, from there is when born all the Hermes, Polymedian came from there. But all the zero knowledge came. The main idea was to build this privacy layer for identity. At the beginning, the biggest difficulty was that the zero knowledge technology was not. Was very in the beginnings, very in the roots. And if you want to build systems, you had to. You need to build this special construction, a special crypto construction that works well in zero knowledge. The baby jab, arithmetic hash functions. Something that was very specific, and this was very difficult to connect with real systems with real identities. And what has changed now, and I think this is an opportunity that's just happening right now, and it's going to be a huge opportunity for the next month and very in the near future, is that the ZK technology is exploding. And what I'm saying exploding is that right now, writing circuits, you don't need Circom, you don't need special tooling on that. We are in the moment that we start being able to build zero knowledge circuit just in Rust, in normal standard languages. And the quantity of code, the difficulty, the things that you can do in the circuits are much higher and much extreme. That means that, for example, it makes no sense anymore to do some specific cryptography for zero knowledge. Right now, you can use a standard cryptography. You can use a standard Ethereum signatures or the signatures that are in any passport, that are in any credit card, in any government, so everywhere in the world that's already using some sort of cryptography, we can embed the zero knowledge in these places. And this opens a huge amount of opportunities for identity. I think this changes the parameters where identity change, and that's why I think that this is an incredible moment for Privado ID to relaunch, to start, and to take off somehow, just using this amazing tech that's exploring right now.
Thank you, Jordi. Thank you so much for this contribution. The idea is that all this technology will be absolutely included in Privado, so thanks for this effort. And also we have Sandeep, our growth advisor. And Sandeep, what do you think? Why this is the moment for the entity?
I think for me it's more like the history of how blockchains have evolved, especially since the breakout of Ethereum back in 2017. And since then, a lot of debates and a lot of funding has gone in. A lot of projects on infrastructure have been building for last 6-7 years. And I think why the moment of identity is there from my side is not because of the identity, it's because of the infrastructure wars almost reaching a place where that the infrastructure is kind of there, especially with these layer 2 stacks and app chains where these applications can launch their own chains and can have massive amount of capacity to them. That solves the infrastructure problem. Once the infrastructure problem gets solved in some form, suddenly you need the next level of middleware in order for Web3 to go mainstream. And identity is is one of the most important, use case. The middleware. I call identity as the middleware infra. And I'm saying from the entire industry point of view, everybody was building infra, like so many blockchains, layer 1, layer 2, this, that, everything happened, right? Now, once we are reaching almost towards the end of that infrastructure, those infrastructure wars in like maybe 12 months, 18 months, 2 years, things get formalized more. You will see the next stage of these infrastructure, middleware infrastructure coming in, and ID is going to be very important, part of that. And, we at Polygon, we have been, like many of you guys might know about the aggregation layer, the ag layer that we are working, that enables us now to have so many complementary partnerships where forget about Polygon ID now going, spinning out and becoming neutral so that it can expand across the ecosystems. We are even working or looking to work with projects, infrastructure projects, which used to be competitors, let's say, of Polygon few years back, right? So, for example, Immutable in gaming was the Polygon and Immutable were always fighting in gaming as the top spot. But Immutable now is using Polygon CDK with the ag layer, right? And similarly, another big player in gaming is like, I'm just giving example is Ronin. Recently, Ronin also announced that they are going to build infra with us. So, and then using ag layer and all that stuff. So this is already happening. And as these infrastructure, things start getting more mature, the middleware infrastructure will be important. Other part that you guys can also, I also think that you can think of, it's an analogy, right? So think of blockchains as the mobile OS, mobile OSs. And, think of, let's say, Android. And you guys can, if I ask you what are the most popular apps on Android, right? What is the most popular app on Android, which everyone uses? That app is actually Gmail. You log in on your Android with Gmail, and then after that, whatever apps you are using, you generally, if I'm talking for the normal average user, they just use their Gmail ID to log in everywhere, right? So if you see for Android, ecosystem, the Gmail is a fundamental next layer of infra. Like first was the operating system for mobile, then this identity and login and sign up systems, and on top of that, then you have so many other applications and all that. And I think ID is like that infra. And now that the infrastructure is is getting a little bit more formalized. We know that we are the top infrastructure providers, and what are the infrastructure architectures that apps needs to use with these app chains and all that, and have hundreds of in future, very shortly, thousands of TPS available for them as a single app. I think the moment of mainstream is here, and mainstream will need ID. And that's why also the last part, why Polygon ID is spinning out of Polygon core group, although it will still use Polygon CDK as its chain and ag layer and all that, but it needs to be a neutral platform, because all other blockchain platforms also need ID. And having Polygon ID, many times might make them uncomfortable. So there's a completely separate division, and David is going to lead it, and we have a lot of amazing team members doing it. So yeah, that's why it's the moment of ID.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, guys, thank you so much for your contributions today and for your words. Please, big applause for these guys.